On the news, resident doctors suspend nationwide strike. South governors take decision on VAT in Rivers State. Our world leaders deny wrongdoing after biggest ever leak of offshore data. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Oni Adekunle. The National Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has directed all its members nationwide to resume work fully from Wednesday. President of the association, Godiya Ishaya, made the official announcement while briefing reporters in Abuja. Ishaya explained that the association took the decision to suspend the industrial action, which began on August 2nd due to a simple majority vote of members at a meeting held on Sunday. Ishaya, however, noted that the strike has been suspended for a period of 6 weeks to allow the federal government to address the issues raised by the doctors. Joining us on the news now to give us more updates on the suspension of the doctor strike is the Publicity Secretary of NAD, Dr. Alpha Yusuf. Dr. Yusuf, thank you very much for joining us on News Now. Now, does this suspension have anything to do with the change in leadership? Well, we apologize, we lost Dr. Alpha there, but we'll try and reconnect and bring him before the end of the news. But moving on now, all governors in the South region have resolved to join the suit filed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, challenging the collection of value-added tax, VAT, by states. Now, this formed part of the resolutions reached at the meeting of the South Governors Forum held on Monday at the Government House in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Recall that Rivers State was initially the only respondent to the suit pending before the Court of Appeal, before Lagos and Oyo State filed applications for joinder in the Appellate Court. Delta State Governor and Chairman of the Forum, Ifeanyi Okowa, while briefing reporters at the end of the closed-door meeting, also said governors resolved to approve the establishment of a regional security outfit to be launched very soon. The governors equally called for the relocation of the headquarters of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and head offices of international oil companies to states in the Niger Delta region. Well, Dr. Alpha Yusuf, the Publicity Secretary of the National Association of Resident Doctors, is back up and he joins us now on the news to tell us more, give us more updates on the suspension of the doctor strike. Thank you very much, Dr. Yusuf, for joining us on News Now. First off, let me congratulate you on your emergence as the spokesperson of NAD. But then, does this suspension have anything to do with the change in leadership?
Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. The suspension of the strike, well, government is a continuum. It's not really due to the change in the leadership. We are only continuing from where our predecessors stopped. It's a continuum. It's not really due to the change in the leadership.
Issues are still there. So just tell us more about how you reached this decision to eventually suspend the strike.
Yes, the decision to suspend the strike came following intervention by a lot of well-meaning Nigerians who have approached the association and spoke to the leadership of the association to please look at suspension of the strike. Recall that 2nd August 2021, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors embarked on total indefinite strike due to the inability of the government to meet up with the implementation of the terms in memorandum of action that was signed by them. So because of the intervention by well-meaning Nigerians, and the association decided to reappraise the matter, some of the demands are already been tackled, though we look at it generally and in the interest of the masses to look into a way of reducing the suffering of the masses while giving the government the trust again to see whether they are going to really do something this time around.
The president just said that the suspension is for a period of 6 weeks. So just help us understand, the 6 weeks is for what exactly? And are Nigerians supposed to expect, should we just expect that after 6 weeks you'll be calling off the strike for good?
Yes, like I do tell people, Nigerian doctors, resident doctors are not strikers. We are not strike mongers. We don't look for strike. We only use strike as a tool to press home our demands. If the 6 weeks we are giving to government is to give them the opportunity to really look into our demands and try to implement the terms that are within the memorandum of understanding that was signed on behalf of NAD by the Nigerian Medical Association, and also that was signed by the association itself in the memorandum of action. So if by 6 weeks they are able to do that, meet up with all our demands, then there wouldn't be any need to be on strike whatsoever.
Well, Dr. Alpha Yusuf, the Publicity Secretary of the National Association of Resident Doctors, thank you very much for shedding more light on this with us on News Now. Now, away from health, women remain a critical part of the agricultural sector, and the more they are neglected, the slower the pace of growth the sector can achieve. Public affairs analyst and agro expert Adewale Ajadi made this remark in an exclusive interview with TV360 Nigeria while assessing President Muhammadu Buhari's 61st Independence Day speech. Ajadi also harped on the need to properly tackle corruption as some of the major solutions to the challenges in the agri sector.
You cannot succeed. My own view, my own thesis is that we cannot succeed if women are not empowered in this country. That sounds like an abstract issue, but the majority of the people who work in agriculture are women. If you upskill women, you upskill a family. So the one gap I see in what we did in agriculture is that we never really made this issue of women critical. It's like you're having a strong right hand, you don't have a weak left hand, but you can't clap with one hand. So let's get that clear, number one. That is critical. If this country is ever going to achieve the majesty and the greatness that we seek for it in any area, women must be partners, full partners in our public life. The second thing is this. The institutions we have usually let down the government. No matter what the government tries to do, it is the very Nigerians in this institution, in my experience, this is not abstract, that undermine. They are selfish, they are greedy, and that includes the civic society or NGOs. The truth be said, that corruption is deeply ingrained in nearly all our institutions and all our public life. So that is another critical point. And the solution that the presidency had for corruption has not quite worked.
What? Prominent clerics, religious leaders and indigents of Ilorin Emirate in Kwara State have asked governors in Nigeria to adopt the strategy used by Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello in tackling insecurity in his state for the country. This call was made at a special prayer session for the nation and symposium against insecurity convened by religious leaders in Ilorin tagged Rise Against Insecurity in Nigeria, RAIN. Delivering keynote addresses, speakers at the conference said when it comes to the issue of security of lives and property, the nation must rally around those that are getting it right and also take lessons to make our domains better instead of engaging in acts of sabotage.
The bandits are not masquerades. They are human beings like us. And definitely, I know there is synergy between them and some of the people in this country. I know so. So we are praying that all those people, God will definitely expose them.
We sons and daughters of Ilorin Emirate want to single out the governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, for a strategy of involving all indigents in the fight against insecurity, keeping youth busy with worthy jobs and making the task of securing the state everybody's business.
As we are approaching 2023, we are going to look for somebody who is going to be at the helm of affairs, who is going to be in control of the situation, somebody who is agile, somebody who is able, somebody who is energetic, somebody who is capable, somebody that can handle the situation. And I don't have any other person in mind than the youngest governor in Nigeria today, and that is Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State.
To alleviate the level of hunger in the country, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons in Nigeria, in collaboration with the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, has officially flagged off the Project Zero Hunger initiative. At the flag-off, 70 beneficiaries were selected and given the Zero Hunger food pack, which contains condiments, toiletries, wrappers, grains and other basic household items. Our correspondent Abisola Adebayo has the details in this next report.
The Project Zero Hunger is a partnership between the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association and the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons to cater for 3 million IDPs. Residents of IDP camps in Kefi, Nasarawa State are some of the first beneficiaries of the project. The POA and NCFRMI presents food care packages and other items to the beneficiaries gathered at the palace of the Emir of Kefi, who pledged his support for the continuation of the project.
We are always ready to give them support since they show concern to us, and we will give them land as they have requested, so that a special camp will be constructed around this place. And we will continue to appreciate the gesture extended to us by the federal government and the commission. The camp is going to be meant for those who have lost their home and they lost their all belongings.
The POA president, Vicky Irabo, who was represented at the event, also commends the support of the armed forces to the project.
The support we receive from our husbands, especially the Chief of Defense Staff, is commendable. We are also supporting the widows in our barracks. We are supporting the wounded soldiers, supporting them with materials, items to make things easy for them. We expect that the internally displaced people, we appreciate the gesture, and they will move out from their need and be able to help others.
On his part, the representative of the NCFRMI reviewed the statistics of displaced Nigerians in neighboring countries.
And we have 73,000 registered refugees residing in Nigeria from 23 countries, and about 500 Nigerian refugees awaiting repatriation from Cameroon, Niger, Chad, Libya, Mali, and other countries. These persons of concern being at a higher risk of hunger and malnutrition, the urgent need to achieve food security have given high importance to the Project Zero Hunger.
The group's aim is to replicate these projects in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to tackle hunger, achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Abisola Adebayo, TV360 News.
Well, let's take a break here, but still to come, Ikeja Distribution Company announces 8-week blackout in some Lagos communities. Details of that and more after this break. Please stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truths.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Thank you for staying with us on News Now. Here's a quick reminder of some of our top stories tonight. The National Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has directed all its members nationwide to resume work fully from Wednesday. President of the association, Godiya Ishaya, who made the official announcement while briefing reporters in Abuja, however, explains that the strike has only been suspended for a period of 6 weeks to allow the federal government to address the issues raised by the doctors. And we also told you that the South-South Governors Forum has resolved to join the suit filed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, challenging the collection of value-added tax by states. This forms part of the resolutions reached at the meeting of the Governors Forum held on Monday at the Government House in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. At the meeting, the governors also resolved to approve the establishment of a regional security outfit to be launched very soon. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Organizers of the Winter Olympics in Beijing say they face great pressure because of COVID-19 as China ramps up preparations with a series of test events. With an expected turnout of over 2,000 overseas athletes, team officials and international technical officials, February's Games could be the most restricted mass sporting event since the pandemic began, with no international spectators allowed and a vaccine mandate. The 2022 Winter Olympics, scheduled for February 4th to 20th, will see a trial of many preventive measures take place over several weeks in China, as the country has now virtually sealed off its borders to keep COVID infections out. Well, we'll take another break here and return with business news. Please stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the go-to app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Let's now bring you the latest in the world of business with Fola Shade Ogurinde. Shade, what do you have first?
Thank you so much, Oyi. And in business, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has said the need to review the country's revenue sharing formula among the 3 tiers of government is long overdue. Speaking at the opening of the 2-day Southwest Zonal public hearing on the review of revenue allocation formula, Governor Sanwo-Olu said the best way to guarantee national progress is by paying attention to sub-national development.
Since the agitation for a reconsideration of the current revenue sharing formula began, this forum designed to give all stakeholders the opportunity to express their views, promises to be most encouraging response so far by the Commission. It is therefore a most welcome development. We will all expect that it will guide the Commission in effectively and justly discharging its constitutional responsibility. As you well understand, the best way to guarantee national progress and development is by paying attention to subnational development, because the national is a summation and a reflection of what happens at the subnational and at our various local governments. The call for Lagos and other states is not a selfish one. It is in the best interest of our country and the entire nation. It is also in the best interest for our teeming population, where Lagos accounts for over 20% of the population and a sizable number of the GDP growth in this country. We believe that at the end of this exercise, all of us will agree and will come to the realization that the exercise that RAMFAC has brought forward is so important, is so apt, that we will see a better conversation that will put the country in a better revenue formula allocation.
Moving on, Ikeja Electric PLC has said some areas under its operational network will experience outage for a period of 8 weeks to enable the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) reconduct its 132 kV lines. Speaking during a news conference on Monday, the Chief Technical Officer of the Electricity Distribution Company, Olajide Kumakpai, said the areas that will be affected by the project, which is expected to begin on October 11, include Oregon, Police Training College, Akran, and 5 other locations. He explained that the project is aimed at increasing the capacity of the transmission lines to wheel more power from the generation companies. I will take a breather here and return with the review of the stock market. Do stay with us. The first day of trading began on a positive note as all-share index appreciated by 0.05% to close at 40,243 basis points, helping investors gain as much as 14.45 billion naira. Now, despite the fact that the market cap saw an improvement of 0.07% when compared to last Thursday's trading, market's volume and value saw a decline as 202 million volume of shares valued at over 1.8 billion naira exchanged hands in 4,066 deals. Now let's take a look at equities that made it to the winners and losers chart. Market breadth closed positive as AXA Mansard Insurance PLC and Pharmadeco PLC led 21 equities with a 46 kobo gain. Now, on the flip side, we see that some 13 losers topped by Morrison Industrials PLC and N Nigeria Flour Mills PLC recorded a combined loss of 1 naira 6 kobo. Away from the NGX to the foreign markets, let's see what went down on our foreign markets. Now, the FTSE closed in the reds at 0.23%, which is a slightly better than expected performance given Asia's earlier jitters over the imminent collapse of Evergrande. As expected, the same sentiment on the Asian stock Nikkei, which also closed in the reds at 1.13%. We can also see that Dow Jones also did not perform too well. It closed in the reds at 1.41%. And it's a wrap on the business news and stock market review segment. Back to Oyin for the rest of the news. Thank you for that update, Shade. We move on now to the foreign scene, where several world leaders have denied any wrongdoing after featuring in a huge leak of financial documents from offshore companies. Dubbed the Pandora Papers, the 12 million files constitute the biggest leak in history after data exposing the secret wealth and dealings of world leaders, politicians, and billionaires were obtained by the International Consortium of investigative journalists in Washington, D.C., leading to one of the biggest ever global investigations. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Jordan's King Abdullah bin al-Hussein are among some 35 current and former leaders linked to the files, and both have issued statements saying they have done nothing wrong. While the Prime Minister of Czech Republic, Andrej Babis, says the allegations are an attempt to influence elections scheduled for this week, Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta said the investigation will go a long way in enhancing the financial transparency and openness required in the country.
Well, let's now discuss this further. I'm being joined on News Now by lawyer Evans Ufeli. Thank you very much, Mr. Evans, for joining us on News Now. Now, we've gone from Panama to Pandora. Now, what exactly are you shocked by this revelation, what some people have called a tsunami of data? Are you surprised at all?
Well, I'm not surprised because what you have is a voyage of discovery. The said discovery have not indicted or criminalized any of those listed. It's a revelation of secret wealth and corporations, offshore corporations that these world leaders have been fingered to have kept in secret in countries all over the world. This is an investigative report, okay, from a consortium, which is subject to further digging and clarifications. It is quite clear that world leaders have investments all over the world, and this is not new. Except that some of them are also into illegal transactions.
Exactly, because I was just going to ask you that what is it with offshore accounts? So from a legal perspective now, is it illegal to own like an offshore account? Is it illegal for heads of government now?
It is not illegal to have offshore accounts, but it is illegal to launder money through those accounts, okay, which oftentimes is the case. Okay, you can have accounts in other jurisdictions, bank accounts in other jurisdictions, businesses in other jurisdictions as a politician or as a world leader, apart from the country where you reside. But where it becomes criminal is when these accounts are used to launder funds, or these businesses are used to peddle drugs or to fund terrorism, and other kinds of vices. This is where it becomes highly criminal, and then proper investigation is now required to know why exactly these offshore accounts are kept, because these accounts and businesses are kept in other jurisdictions for diverse kinds of reasons. There are those who establish businesses specifically for the purposes of using the profits to finance terrorism. And the United States, over the years, have taken time to dig into such kind of businesses that are of high repute, of high net worth persons, and how they go about the operations of these businesses and accounts all over the world. So it's a right step in the direction that an independent consortium, a group of journalists, have made this revelation, and which has also incorporated African leaders. I think 10 of them or thereabouts, including Nigerian leaders.
10 Nigerians.
Yes, including 10 of them, which is a good one. But I would expect that further investigation be done on those who were fingered or indicted.
Well, Mr. Evans, I apologize. That's where we just have to leave it. For want of time, we just have to continue from here. Thank you very much, Evans Ufeli, for joining us on News Now. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Shine your eye is White Money!
After spending 10 weeks on the biggest reality TV show, White Money has emerged as the winner of Big Brother Naija Season 6, themed Shine Your Eye, leaving Licorice as the last woman standing and the first runner-up of the season. At the grand finale on Sunday, housemates evicted were Emmanuel, Angel, Cross, and Pere. During the show, White Money had mentioned in several instances that he had the thrill of growing up. At one point, he had to sell food with his mother at a young age, and leveraging the BB Naija platform, White Money, who is an an entrepreneur, has seized the opportunity to sell his market, which made viewers of the show see him as a typical Igbo man. The night was characterized by amazing performances by Made Kuti, Season 4 ex-housemate Avala, Season 5 winner Lekon, Loje, and Ajebo Oslas. Nigeria's most iconic rap artist Jude Abaga, fondly known as MI, has clocked 40. To celebrate the special day, the music star took to his Instagram page where he penned a message to celebrate his birthday. He rose to prominence in 2006 with the song Crowd Mentality. The just born rapper went on to release some of the biggest rap albums in the country, including Talk About It, Chairman, and MI Sued the Movie. Happy birthday to MI.
And in sports, the newly elected president of the Nigeria Cricket Federation, Uyi Akpata, has set a target of recruiting 250,000 youths across the country as one of the core pursuits of his team. Akpata added that his team is set to build on the existing structure of the former board, where 16 regional development officers were recruited to lead training and development across the country. He also said that the federation would invest in high-impact centers in each state, where it would encourage schools and students to take an interest in the game of cricket. And that's the size of our bulletin this evening. We thank you for watching. I am Oyi Adekunle. Bye for now.